So John, yesterday it was announced that Dartboy Property Holdings purchased Dens Park. Significant day for Dundee Football Club.
I think it's a great day for Dundee Football Club. It's been a long time coming. We've been working on this for a very long time. Have been speaking with John Bennett for years now, and we got to thank John for all of his efforts, not just for Dundee Football Club, but for Scottish football. John's been a proponent of football. We all know he's an Aberdeen supporter, a United board member, previous United board member, but he's supported Dundee Football Club in its time of need, and we can't thank him enough for that. Another person is Jack Robertson, the chairman of Thornton's. Early doors, when we first took over the organization, Jack he's a good friend of John Bennett's, but B, he was the one that started talking about the potential of purchasing the stadium. And he advised me quite a bit in the early days of us owning Dundee, and I'm very appreciative of that. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's 10 years that we've been here. John's owned the stadium for 14 years, and it's one step in many that is going to continue to bring Dundee up to the next level.
What does this purchase mean for the football club?
Well, it means a few things. It means it's a step that we have to take in order for us to have control of the stadium, so we can start to get really involved in the new stadium, start building the new stadium. Without that control, we always have an issue of a long-term lease hanging over our heads as a football club. Now that we have that control, we're able to move forward with our plans for the stadium, and it's a great thing to have it back within the hands of the ownership of the club.
The club have announced previously, obviously, the plans for Camperdown. Did yesterday's news really sort of kick that further forward? Absolutely.
Like I said, there's a lot of hoops that we have to jump through to make Camperdown happen and to make the stadium plans happen. And this was one of the big hoops that we had to get through. There's hundreds of small hoops. Behind the scenes, we are constantly having meetings, working with our consultants. Every Monday for the last year, we've had a meeting with all of our consultants, getting to the point where we are just about ready to put the application in for that site. This makes it the life much easier, so we're not concerned about what we cannot do with the stadium going forward.
In terms of obviously where the club have come from, you spoke about John Bennett when he took over the stadium. Does it just show you how far the club have come in that period of time?
We've come a long way. Somebody talked about this just the other day. When we took over the organization, the first team was training at Dawson Park. Trying to find other places to train were very difficult because of the bridges that had been burned. So we've built those bridges back up. We were able to start training in different locations. And then now look around you. We have a state-of-the-art facility. Although it's a temporary facility, it's fantastic. We have great relationships throughout Dundee. And it shows throughout the organization that everything is flourishing. Sometimes what happens on the park isn't the best, but this year things seem to be going in the right direction. But from our academy, expanding the way it has and going into a CIC, the charity has gone from strength to strength and is stronger than it's ever been. Our presence in the community is higher than it's ever been. It's really a good feeling, but it's, behind the scenes, I know we're quite boring, but we're constantly working and constantly trying to endeavor to make Dundee a bigger and better football club and community asset.
Having this facility here at Gardown, and obviously the pitches, which the fans saw pictures of the other day, it really helps attract quality players, doesn't it?
It does. It's very difficult to attract a player to say that you're going to come to Dens Park, get in a van every single day and travel to an unknown training facility, or an ever-changing training facility over the past years. It's very difficult to make that happen. Now, when we are trying to attract players, we bring them in. We show them the facilities. They show them the ability that we have to train them and feed them and educate them. And we tick all the boxes here. And it's a fantastic place to work. It's a fantastic place for people to learn the game. And I think it's been, it's about everybody around making it that way as well. All the staff, everybody involved, I think has given a lift to.
One of the things you mentioned about relationships being built up, club have got a fantastic relationship with the DSA and the part they're playing in the club as well.
We've always had a good relationship with the DSA. We've had an open door policy with them for several years, and we'd meet on a regular basis at the stadium, and now people just come in. John Burke shows up. Everybody comes in when they need to have a chat, and we have a chat and talk about what's going on within the organization. But yeah, we've always had a great relationship with the DSA. They support a lot of the initiatives that we have. They support the charity. They support, when we're going to the hospital during Christmas to try to raise some energy and some smiles and with the kids that are in the hospital not having a great time, and trying to cheer them up a bit. They're involved in that. And obviously they're involved in our Player of the Year awards, as they have always been. And they've done a fantastic job, and I'm sure they'll continue to do so. And to be fair, as we've grown, I think they've grown quite a bit as well.
We talk about the training facility and that taking the club to the next level, but ultimately that's the goal with the new stadium, isn't it, to take the club to another level? Absolutely.
Everything that we do is trying to get this club to the next level. All the other aspects of that plan are to help feed the machine, so to speak. So it is always trying to take the club to the next level, the next step, take the extra budget that we could potentially have to bring better players and higher level players. And like you said, the facilities, even our game day facilities, they'll walk in and go, wow, this is a great place to be. And on top of that, it's a much better fan experience. That's what we're expecting, is to have a much better fan experience. It's a struggle at Dens Park at the moment because we spend a ton of money on Dens Park every year, and it kind of looks the same as it did the year before. And even this year, we've spent a ton of money, and people don't notice it. They don't see it. This year, with the new Green Guide regulations, we had to upgrade sections A, B, and C, and with a new fire code and new systems put in place, and that took a lot of effort and time and money during the off season in order to make that happen. But these are things that people aren't seeing, and it's tough for them to say, well, why don't you invest more into the stadium? But the reality is, we are investing more into the stadium. It just continues to look the way it does, and regardless of how much we try to polish it up, it's still an old, failing building.
The new stadium will benefit the club massively, but it will also benefit the city and the local area too.
It will absolutely do that. There will be some information that's coming out from all the socioeconomic studies that we've done. It will bring jobs. It will bring a big economic boost to the community, but it will also bring an uplift to the overall, to the community as a whole. When there are concerts coming in, bringing more people from outside of town. I mean, when the V&A went in, and people talk about the V&A in different levels of how it has gone. They've just had their 5-year anniversary, but I can tell you, it's put Dundee on the map. People from around the world know where Dundee is because of the V&A, and they're working hard to try to engage with the local community as well as a global community, and it's very hard to do, but they're doing a good job of that. And I think when we put our stadium together and having all of these things that Dundee gets passed over for, concerts, different competitions, things of that nature, we're constantly getting passed over because the city itself doesn't have that those facilities. And once we have those facilities, it'll be a jewel for Dundee.
You mentioned obviously how the club is going off the park, but you must be pleased with the start to the season on the pitch, the club back in the top flight, and how we've adapted to that challenge.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. Tony's done a fantastic job. The entire backroom staff, in fact, the entire staff that is supporting the football team, need all the plaudits. The team's doing a fantastic job. I think we had 3 players at the end of the season last year, and 1 had a broken leg that were under contract. So we did a lot of work over the summer and built a team that, quite frankly, is still gelling. They're still getting to know each other, and you can see match by match that they're getting better. They're really starting to understand how to play with each other. They're working for each other. They have a work ethic that is second to none. Tony has a work ethic that's second to none. The 2-day sessions that they had yesterday and today, all the different things that they do is to be successful on the weekend. And I'm really proud of what they're doing.
So just lastly, obviously the news yesterday, how the team are getting on in the pitch, everything that's happening at the training facility, the girls team, the academy, the future's bright for the club, isn't it?
The future's very bright for the club, but it's, we take small steps, and we constantly are taking these steps. And as long as you continue to solve what's in front of you, one step at a time, you'll continue to build good things. And, we're just starting out with the girls, and it's already starting to bear fruit. The academy, like I said before, has gone from strength to strength to strength, and Stephen has done such a fantastic job with that. It's just, it's amazing. I'd implore people to get out and see our young teams. I'd get out there and see the reserves, and then obviously come out and support the big guys.